All right, let me go across to our full panel. Joining us this evening here on the Talking Point on Brass Tacks, Sharda Trivedi is BJP spokesperson, Ratan Sharda, RSS researcher, Maulana Masood Qasmi is an Islamic scholar, Shahid Ali, an advocate joining us, and Professor Badrinath, an historian and author also on the broadcast. Let me start with Sharda Trivedi. The question that's being asked is, पहले आपने मदरसे की सर्वे की, अब वक्फ प्रॉपर्टी की सर्वे कर रहे हैं. People like Mr. Owaisi are calling this mini NRC या छोटा NRC. इसका क्या जवाब देंगे? What would your response be? Because it seems like all of this is being done with one eye on keeping the electorate polarized. That's what the opposition is saying.
The polarization is the opposition's problem, not us. Why would we polarize? We are in the government. There's no reason why we should polarize, and the main issue here is not the Waqf property, it is not the Madrassa board. It is just to keep Muslims separate from the rest of the country. They should be treated as either museum specimens or from people from Mars, that the terrestrial laws are not applicable on them. We have been trying to get the Muslims to become, to be part of the mainstream. The trouble here is that there are few thekedars of the Muslim community who declare themselves to be the bosses. These are the people who monopolize the Waqf board. These are the people who monopolize the Madrassa board. These are the people who want total monopoly on the Muslim mind. And whenever anything is done to get the people to the mainstream, they cry wolf. And especially this character from Hyderabad, who's just a local from Hyderabad, who couldn't even crack a single election in any state. He has one central agenda to scare the Muslims that he is the Messiah of the Muslims.
But Sharadji, why don't you then do a survey of all the lands that come under the various mutts in Uttar Pradesh? Why don't you do a survey of all the lands that come under the Hindu Endowment Board?
Sure.
सिर्फ वक्फ की लैंड को क्यों सर्वे कर रहे हैं आप?
No. The Hindu endowment surveys are being done on a routine basis. The central schools, the state government schools, the private schools are surveyed every 5 years. That's a routine matter. 250 houses were demolished in Noida. Nobody cried that it was a program against the Hindus. There's a movement against Maoist over 4 to 5 governments. Nobody says that it was it is a anti-Hindu campaign.
Okay.
The moment we touch this community, the all hell breaks loose. And
Maulana Masood Qasmi, UP के जो वक्फ minister है धर्मपाल सिंह, he has said that the government with good intention has started this survey. Orders had been given previously to identify the Waqf properties and then take further action. UP के Deputy Chief Minister Keshav Prasad Maurya कहते हैं कि the government wants to act upon land mafias who are taking on Waqf property. तो इसमें क्या गलती है?
Zakka ji, this is true. The survey of board properties in Uttar Pradesh and all over the country should be done, but it must be done with impartiality. Impartial survey, impartial inquiry should be done and should be conducted, but with preconceived notion, action or conducting survey with preconceived notion is questionable.
नहीं, आपको कैसे पता सर कि वो प्रीकंसीव नोशन से कर रहे हैं? नहीं, ये सर्वे तो शुरू भी नहीं हुआ, लेकिन आप कह रहे हैं कि प्रीकंसीव्ड है.
मैं उनको नहीं, मैं कह रहा हूं, मीडिया में ये बात चलाई जा रही है कि वक्फ बोर्ड एक्ट इज ड्रैकोनियन लॉ और दिस इज एंटी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल, this is against the spirit of the secular India. So I would also like to say in the similarly, yesterday honorable Supreme Court said when there was argument going on the validity of Waqf Board Waqf Act, Supreme Court said in parallel we have in Hindu religion also endowment acts framed by
नहीं, वो तो शरद जी कह रहे हैं कि एंडोमेंट लैंड का सर्वे तो रूटीन बेसिस पे होता रहता है. जब वक्फी लैंड की सर्वे होती है देन ऑल हेल ब्रेक्स लूज, बट एंडोमेंट की लैंड जो है उसका सर्वे तो हर साल होता है.
देखिए, सर्वे से कोई ऐतराज नहीं है, सर्वे से किसी को भी ऐतराज नहीं हो सकता. कुछ दबंग हैं, ये सच्ची बात है, जिन्होंने वक्फ बोर्ड की जमीनों को कब्जा रखा है, Waqf is only for the poor people, for the educational betterment and healthcare betterment of the poor people of the community.
Okay.
And the rich people and the young people have no right over this to control.
Ratan
From the
Sharda,
very-
so the
but-
state
from the
government under
decades,
Yogi
yeah.
Adityanath is striking down a previous 1989 state government order which is paving the way for transferring these public properties to the Waqf board. It was either barren land or non-agricultural land or any land that was used either as a shrine, a qabristan or an Eidgah. The question is, if land has been given by previous governments for a shrine, qabristan or an Eidgah, and now there is going to be a survey of it and a re-look at it, surely it also calls for all the land that's been given to the Hindu community or the Sikh community or the Christian community or any community for that matter. Why just single out the Muslim community?
First of all, let us not forget the premise of this debate, that the great Muslim leader of Indian Muslims, whom nobody votes for, Mr. Owaisi, called this a mini NRC. I thank him for reminding people that NRC has to be implemented because a Supreme Court order. To make it look like some criminal activity is actually the empty mind and hate-filled mind of Mr. Owaisi and IAMN. Secondly, why is this survey being done? No other religious institution, no other religious community has put its claim on thousands of acres of land without any proper documentation of the sheer very strange act of Waqf Act passed by Congress government in 1985. Has any religion claimed land half of Delhi? Has any religion claimed Taj? Has any religion claimed 500 crore worth of property in Jammu Kashmir, which includes Kent, which includes police property, which includes government property and government?
But Sharda ji, you look at all the properties by the endowments board, not just Ratan ji. No. You look at all the endowments property in Uttar Pradesh, in Madhya Pradesh, in the southern states, what comes under the Devasthanam board, etc. There are again hundreds of acres of land. So सिर्फ वक्फ क्यों आप single out कर रहे हैं?
Zakka, I gave you the reason why it is being done, because no other religion has laid claim on government lands, on private lands, on various other aspects which is not about any religion. If you talk about South, in fact, the temples of South have lost lakhs of acres of land due to highly irresponsible behavior of the governments who take over the temples and don't protect them, don't protect their land. And they have been encroached upon, they have been taken away. Those temples have in fact land record with them. They are not claiming on the virtue of some Waqf bill or something. They are demanding on the basis of papers they already have.
Okay.
And that land has been usurped by the other people.
Shahid Ali
So
is
don't
joining
compare
us.